Hello, Jess, Claire here, coming to you on this show on Monday night. Curious. I'm just going to go in. Please leave me some messages if you want to engage with this conversation. I would love to have a conversation with you guys. Anyone who's on, please say hello. This is like my favorite thing. Hello. This is like my favorite thing to do on a Monday night. Even though I'm freaking tired, I freaking love this conversation. So, hey, Robin. Hey, Mayank. I hope I say that. Hey, Mara. Please do come and say hello and talk about gossip. This is something that's really interesting to me. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm in conversations and I'm like, is this gossip? Or is this just me venting? What is gossip? What's the difference? I'm very curious. Do we gossip all the time and then we like to pretend we don't? Are we hiding this stuff? Do we say things to others and not to the person? The secrets around gossip. I want to have a conversation with you guys about that. What do you think? See, I'm really interested in secrets because I'm obsessed with understanding why people hide things. And maybe, sometimes I feel like I'm an alien from out of space because I don't hide things. And I'm like, why don't we just talk to each other? Yeah, that thing you want to say, why don't you just say it? So I'm curious. And then I have conversations with people about secrets. And then I realize I've got a lot of secrets and I don't even realize I've got them. So if you are jumping on, I would love to have a conversation with you about this. And I want to really just be straight. Just tell it as you see it. I love that. Exactly. But does that work? You know, I have a lot of people say to me, you can't do that. You know, I want to explore this with you guys. So, hey, Nicole. Hey, Marta. Facebook user. If you're coming up as Facebook user, I'm going to do this now. If you're coming up as a Facebook user, hello, Robin. That means that you'll need to allow. But I want to get this engagement going. I really want. This is what women do. You know, I call a spade a spade. Everyone gossips. I would like to say that everyone gossips. In fact, I want to call out like this global elephant in the room. Maybe, just maybe, the whole world is a gossip. And when I say gossip, I mean people talking to others. You know, people talking to others instead of talking to the actual person they have an issue with. And I want to make this distinction, right? Better to just calm it out when it comes up than collect it in Pandora's box, right? I mean, is it? I don't know. I mean, from what I can see, there's this distinction. And this is only my own thinking, right? I'm not saying that what I'm saying is the truth, but, you know, because everything for me is an exploration. And I get very curious about this thing called gossip, right? Because when I look around, I'm like, yes, hello, Sarah Jolly. When I look around, what I can see is that the whole world is one big gossip. And I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to say I'm involved in that. I'm going to say you're involved in that. And we think that gossiping is like what other people do. I'm like, I think we all do it. What would Elsa do? Exactly, right? That's a very good question. But I want to explore this because here we are in a world where there's so much stuff being said. I remember a time where I was so paranoid about what people said about me. And even now, it's like I put all this stuff online and then I have these moments where I start thinking about, oh my God, What do people think? And then something will happen in my own life, and then I'll be like so confronted by it. I don't want to go and, really vomit on that person. So I would like go and talk to someone else to kind of work it through. And then I might go away and feel guilty that I did that. And then I'm like, oh no, does that person think I'm gossiping? I don't want to think badly of me. I don't want them to think badly of me. Like, what is that? I don't think I'm alone here. I think we're all doing it. Okay, Dimity, gossiping makes the world go round. Well, yeah, that's actually my concern. That right now, all we do is have access to gossip. We have access to gossip. I want to have a discussion about what it looks like to not ever, just to put it out there as something to look at. What if we never, ever, ever talk to another person about, this is about secrets, right? What if we never have this secret called, I need to talk to someone else about that person? What if we only ever, just imagine a world where we only ever talk to the person we have an issue with. What is the concern about that? Yep, because we're perfectly imperfect. That's what we say. That's what we say about ourselves. Yep. Vomit. That's right. That's what I said. Gossip vomit. Oh, what if we did that? I would actually like to work with someone tonight. I want someone to give me an example of where there is something that they talk to others about, but they don't talk to that person about, and why. I really, really want to get into this tonight, and I'm happy to share my own stories on this because it's something I've worked a lot on. Yeah, we gossip by nature to avoid confrontation. Isn't this just another secret? Isn't this gossip, and to avoid the confrontation, isn't this just suppressing our voice? Let it go. I love it. I love it. Vomit. Vomit on people's chests. We say it's not good to gossip, but everyone's doing it. Everyone. If you actually have a look at the definition of gossip as well, gossip, I'm now calling it gossip. If you actually have a look at the definition of gossip, it's very interesting. If I'm asked, I don't lie. Okay. Really? No one's going to ask you outright the things you think about, though, right? Let's get really, really curious about that. What is the most amount of, when I look into the world and I look at what people are commenting on Facebook, and I look at what people are saying and what people are doing on Facebook, one of the things I notice is people are terrified about what other people think about them. I run a social media school, and I teach people how to actually fully show up online and fully be expressed and do all of that stuff. Everyone is terrified of what people are going to say. That's interesting to me. Lorna, you said teammates low performance, that impacts me. It's not my place to rip them a new one. My short explanation. No, but how do, I do get that this is what we grapple with, right? How do we talk to people and honor them as human beings, regardless of what's happening? How do we get curious about others? I will talk to my parents about my sisters if I'm concerned, as I know they would open up to my mum than me. Yeah, great. Gossiping, unfortunately, gives people some sort of validation. It does, doesn't it? I know that there's something with me too, that sometimes I'm so annoyed at something and I just want someone to agree with me. It's almost like I venture out to find someone to agree with me so that I can get the validation. I do not gossip. I want you to consider something, Anastasia. It's not you. This is a human being thing. I want you to consider that everyone does. In fact, someone said it before. Gossip makes the world go round. Gossip isn't wrong. There's just a big impact And I'm almost bringing to the surface. Hello, Brendan. I'm also bringing to the surface here that I want people to consider. Hey, Chantel, that you know, we have this big impact, and I call it this like global conspiracy, that we don't talk to each other. We don't know how. We've never been we've never been shown how to, and everyone's terrified of upsetting each other. So we all talk to others and not the person. And also we've got this like reaction party. So everyone's reacting to something. So if I say something to you, you react. And then if you react, I'm going to react. And then we're all in a reaction party. So we'll just talk to other people. We won't talk to each other. I'm saying that's a big problem, and that's why we do it. So I've taken on getting curious about this. Now, I want to hear some real examples though, right? Because I've one of the things, you know, I've started dating someone. We've been dating for ages. I guess you could say we're now officially together, because I gave up that I was single, right? So I've given that up. I'm not single. I'm dating this beautiful, beautiful woman. And one of the things that, hello Amanda, hello JR, Chantel. One of the things I noticed is that, you know, you always want to keep people happy. So now I'm back in a relationship. I'm like, oh, now I'm like always trying to keep someone happy. And I do these courses, which is really about, you know, standing for something really big and taking yourself on. So I can't exactly treat this person that I'm dating the same as I would treat my clients, and I try to do that and it doesn't work. And I'm like, so what do I do? Well, I've had to get really good at communicating in different ways. But I'm curious, is because what I found is I was like trying to sort her out. If she said anything that I didn't agree with, I would be like, you should just do this, like telling her what to do. That doesn't work, right? And then you should be like, no, don't do that to me, react. And so then I'd be like, and then I'd go away and I may talk to others. And so what I could see is that what I actually don't know how to do, and that I'm taking on learning to do, is talk to people from intimacy, I call it intimacy, and vulnerability. So what is that? How do you talk to someone from intimacy and vulnerability? We gossip maybe because we don't know how to be vulnerable and intimate. What do you think? I'm just going to put it out there. Because if we actually did know how to be vulnerable and intimate, and when I say intimate, I mean intimately sharing who we are. I don't mean in a sexual sense, because sometimes that gets confused. I mean the intimacy of ourselves, showing our heart, opening ourselves up, being seen, heard for our vulnerability. Would we really need to gossip if we were okay with that? So I'm not sure. I would say people gossip so you can put a scenario in someone's mind for them so they can agree with you. You know, that actually makes perfect sense, Nicole. I get it. That's sort of what the person before was saying. It's like we want validation. What do we want validation for? Talking to others about issues of others. If I have an issue with someone, I go straight to the source, cutting out any Chinese whispers, always from the heart. Maybe to speak casual and speak about things that are not true, that's the definition of gossip. But who is defining what is true? Hello, Benjamin. Hey, Audrey. Who's defining what is true? You see, for this to justification, yeah, exactly. Who defines what's the truth? Because I know that when I go to someone and go, you did this, they go, no, I didn't. Does that mean they're a liar? Or did I interpret it the wrong way? I'm very curious about this because I think when I look at the world the way that it is, I'm saying that a lot of things are happening in that sense. Now, who do we tell this stuff to? Now, I'm like really trying to open this up because it's like, this is not, from what I can see, there's nothing wrong with this. This is actually what we're all doing. Everyone that's here, potentially, you know, I want you to consider, even me, we all gossip. I once took on an agreement, I did this program, and I once took on an agreement that I wouldn't gossip. And I found myself breaking my word all the time. I realized just how often I did it. I realized just how often that I thought that what someone else was doing had some sort of hidden agenda, and I would go talk to someone else about it. I would avoid upsetting that person. And then if it was too hard to deal with, I just never talk to them. And then there would be some sort of distance between us. And then someone would go, hey, have you seen that person? And I'll be like, oh, no, I just don't want to talk to them. And I'd not even know why. Gossip, is the gossip also required to find a reason to talk to someone and therefore reaffirming that I'm socially required by someone? You know, maybe. I remember that there was this conversation. I used to have conversations with a guy who used to kind of make fun of people, and to fit in, I would make fun of them with him. And then the day that I stopped doing that was terrifying. I thought I was going to lose him as a friend. And I actually just started talking to this person that he would usually make fun of and just being really loving and connected with them. And I found myself terrified that I was going to lose him as a friend because that's what we did together. And it was gross. So, you know, why did I think that I had to continue to gossip and be mean to someone to keep a friendship? Maybe there's something going on there with others. I don't know. I didn't want to lose him as a friend. I thought that's what I needed. But why did I even want to keep him as a friend like that? Now, what turned out when I did that, he actually came up to me and said, I'm so sorry that, you know, we have continued to do this to people. And he didn't want to do it either. We both wanted to kind of break this cycle, right? Yeah, people who will agree with us. I define what's true. This is true. You do define what's true. Avoidance of conflict. I know, but here's what we're saying. There's justification, avoidance of conflict, always our own perception. And where, you know, I'm like, I hear it, it's like, not me. I want you to consider, it is us. It is us. We're doing it too. I mean, I'm not only talking to you guys, but it is. Now, my housemate's gotten back and they're going, oh, hello. They're like being quiet because I'm on a live. Hello. It's everyone. You're all doing it. We're all doing it. I'm just curious as to what we're so afraid of. There must be something we're so afraid of with people that we continue to do it. Hello, Justin. Hi, dear. I don't get it. I do it myself. Human beings fascinate me. We want a different world, but we think it's got to do with someone else. I'm afraid of conflicts. Thank you, Sky. So am I. I'm afraid of conflict. I want everyone to be happy. I want every single thing that comes out of my mouth to be gold. And that all of you think right now, oh my God, this is just music to my ears. I want that. Hate it. Afraid if we can't fit in. I don't know. Do you think if we don't gossip, are we actually afraid of that we won't fit in? I was. Here's what I do now. I mean, I taught myself to do it a lot. Is that when I hear someone gossip now, what I actually do is I say, firstly, I'm like, I feel like we're gossiping a bit. You know, I think this is gossip. It's not wrong. I make sure there's no guilt and shame there. Because immediately you call it out and there's this like, oh, gossip is so bad. You know, Justin, I'm well. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Sam, base chakra wanting to belong. If we speak up, we'll be rejected. There you go. That's very clear, right? I'm like, what's the answer? Sam comes on, boom, there it is. So we want to belong and we don't want to be rejected. And to belong is to agree. Is that what we're doing? And if we don't agree, then what we have to do is not go to the person we disagree with or talk about that. We have to go to someone else and kind of get validation that what we've said is the truth. Did you define gossip and bitching as the same though? Is it? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. All right. Okay. I was actually going to have a look at the definition of gossip. That's what we're going to do. So if we go definition of gossip, this is what it says. Casual or unconstrained conversation or reports about other people, typically involving, there we go, typically involving details which are not confirmed as true. Okay, so typically involving details is not confirmed as true. So why are we so comfortable in stating that things are true when we're not confirming that they are? I remember I went to this seminar once and they had me get that everything I think is a lie unless it's validated by someone else. It was really confronting. I thought I'd just throw that out there. Jess, your music to my ears. I want this world to be different. That's why I have these conversations. And I'm just terribly curious as to why we do this stuff. Or acceptable, even if it's not the truth. We accept a lot of non-truth. Stephanie Cherie, rejection side is a massive, I feel. I still haven't gotten back to you. I was meant to text you today. Okay. I'm in an immersion. And yes, rejection side is massive. I think rejection. But we want to be we're worried about being rejected by who? What are we getting rejection from? I'm so fascinated by this. There's a fine line, but maybe slightly different. Maybe, yes. Fear-based, it strengthens the ego when we both, so it's more about ego, you know. It's great, isn't it? We start to get into this. It's like when I've said dirty little secrets, with so many people talking about secrets, and then I came and I was like, okay, I've got to define the secrets because there's just so many different things. And now when we get into gossip, it's like, are rumors gossip? Well, if there's, yes. We love making up stories. We do. Are you classing rumors as gossip? I would say so. These are facts that are not considered true. Rejection from the tribe. But do we really want a tribe that's always gossiping about people? Why do we continue to hang around people that we are not able to be ourselves with? Not that we're saying we are, I'm just putting that out. As a test analyst, I can't handle unverified data, so I'm not the best person to gossip as I keep asking questions to find the facts and understand the scenario. Love it. I'm very similar. This is what I do. Really? But really? You know, but in saying that, I don't sometimes even recognize my own gossip. Sometimes I think something is so true, even when it's not verified, that I will keep asking questions. And so I will be like, this happened, and people will question me. I'm like, no, it did. And then I look back and go, I'm gossiping. I'm actually making this up. I don't know that's true. Low self-esteem. Again, I'm going to put this out there. This idea of low self-esteem, I reckon we all have a version of that, right? Everyone has some sort of conversation with themselves that they don't like who they are in some way. I do it. We all have some conversation with ourselves about not liking who we are. Right? So I like to kind of debunk this whole myth that there's these people with low self-esteem. Sure, there are people that have more strength around positive communication, but I don't know, do I think everyone gossips, whether they're going to be someone that has low self-esteem or not. Venting the truth is not really gossip. It could be. I'm curious, what is the difference? What's the distinction? Steph? Under-functioning ego. Okay. Do you notice how it's really a bit of a mystery to all of us right now? We're like, why is this gossip? You know, and yet, as far as I can tell, no one likes it. Hello, Jason. As far as I can tell, nobody is a big fan. Nobody. If you heard that someone was talking about you behind your back, you know, behind your back, it's not really behind your back, you're just talking to someone else. It's not like you're like walking around with your back. Anyway, but if you found out, it would impact you, right? Or would you not? Are you actually okay knowing other people talk about you? I agree. Assumptions on why people behave as a certain way are my biggest gossip topics. On my path of wanting to understand what makes them tick, we're fascinated. Like, why do they do that? You know what I reckon, how you find that out? You go ask them. And then there's this actual, real, random thing you do after that. When someone tells you why they did something, when you ask them, you believe them. You don't then say to yourself, I don't believe it. I think it's for some other reason. You know? It's not a mystery to me at all. See, sometimes it makes sense, right? You know, but definitely don't like it. Nobody likes it, but everybody's doing it. You know, validation that we exist, who we are in this crazy, it's a false realization. I know everyone is terrified of being gossiped about. Everyone does not want to say what they really think to each other. And we talk about others, yet the last thing we want is that to happen to any of us, right? It's like we're all trapped in this kind of vicious cycle. These are secrets. And then what I can see, the biggest impact's actually on us. Yes, had that done to me. Bet you didn't like it. You know, Steph, bet you didn't like it, right? Okay. Isn't we love bitching about behaviors that are a reflection of our own stuff and that we're rejecting? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I think when I think of what I vent about, it's usually a frustration of myself projected. You know, and then we come back to, you know, I think that's a good point, Sam. I'm usually, it's a frustration of myself. Like, why would they do that? They're not doing what I want. And when I really look at it, particularly with my, you know, staff in my business, which is where my biggest stuff comes up, it's like, I haven't trained them the way that they need to be trained. They're not in my brain. I assume that they understand when they don't. I do this. I put all these assumptions out there that people are going to get how I think, feel, act. And then I get frustrated at them that they don't do that. You know, I agree, Sam. It's a rejection of my own stuff. It's like this frustration of my own stuff projected. You know, I thought I was a spy. Oh, you crack me up, Steph. Yeah, I find this fascinating. And let's get into the secret side of it, right? We all have we all have secrets. We all have secrets. And what I'm saying is that gossip is just another version of a secret. And I also say that the more secrets we carry, the more we're actually suppressed. Here's what I've learned, and I'll be getting very interested. What do you think? And we're filled up with them daily. I'm actually actively trying to like get people to talk to each other more and more and more and more and more in a more authentic way. Projecting our frustration at self. Hello, Sam. Gotta go. Bye. You know. Yes, projecting our frustration at self. When I really stopped to think about it, all of what's going on in these secrets, we've got so many secrets. I just imagine this world where we actually talk to each other about all this stuff in a way that we didn't all react all the time. There wasn't just this one big reaction party. So how do you get no reaction party? Because as we've gone through this, everyone's afraid, right? We don't want to upset people, we don't want to hurt people, but actually by doing the gossip, we're hurting people. And then we try and say, oh, but we're not gossiping, we're just venting, but we really are, we just don't want to say that. Because who wants to admit they're gossiping? I gossip, okay? I gossip, I do it myself. I'm just curious about it, that's why I'm having a conversation. You go back to that. I don't like confrontation. Part of what is not wanting to shake people out of their comfort zone in case they can't handle it. And part of it is not wanting to deal with their response. Yeah, so maybe if we put it that way, I think that's a really good distinction, right? Hey, Sam. Hey, Samantha. I think the distinction there is, you know, just from everything we talked about. Firstly, we say we don't like confrontation. You dig into it. I think you've got it there. We don't think people can handle what we have to say, and we don't want to deal with the response that people have. Hey, so if that's the case, if we do not want to handle what people have to say and we don't want to deal with the response, you're already saying these things just to others, and you are going to get a response, but just in other ways. So it's all happening anyway. If you look at the world, everyone's reacting, everyone's getting frustrated, everyone's getting annoyed. It's all happening anyway. The only difference is we are not taught and we don't know how to share this stuff with each other in a way that works. You know, what if we actually just said that? Steffi, crack me up. What if we actually just said, I don't know how to say this. I don't want you to get mad, but I just have to tell you something. And let people get frustrated. I just think as a society, we're so taught that reacting is bad. Reacting is a good thing. React. I love reacting people. Means they're human. We're so taught that confrontation is not good. I love confrontation. Means it's growth. I'm like everyone. I am that everyone can handle me. Like, yeah, you all can handle me. You all can handle what I've got to say. Everyone. You did it yesterday, Good. Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's great. Confrontation, I'm like, go for it. I'm like the antithesis of like hiding. You look, it's fine. I don't really mind whether people hide or they don't. I just look at people and go, you know, if you want this world to be a different place, we're all going to have to do something different, right? And I assert, and I'm just putting it out there, that one of the things we're going to have to do is start confronting, letting people deal with what we have to say, and getting good at communicating in a way that actually leaves people still feeling honored even when you're pissed off. And then if you screw up, owning it, that you screw up and just be lovely about the fact that you're being a jerk. Someone spoke to you like shit. Yeah, okay, I get that. It's not nice. Like, no one likes that. It hurts. You get that experience of actually being hurt. I get it. Like, look, I'm not saying that this is all easy and everything's great. I saw this post today, you know, where someone's like, I'm just so sick of everyone going gay versus straight, black versus white, rich versus poor, this versus that. It's like, I get it. It's like, yeah, we're all freaking humans. We can be, and I'll just speak for myself, I can be an absolute dickhead and react. I can speak to people badly, like shit. I could have someone say that I speak to them like shit. I can also be the most compassionate, loving human on the planet. You know, the other day, this girl, this beautiful girl, and I'm seeing Amanda, says to me, the thing that she liked about me is not that I'm any different, is that the other day she's like, you know, you were a real jerk when you did that. And the thing that made me different is that I went, yeah, you're right, I was. And she was like, that was so different. Maybe what we're craving is ownership of our own stuff. And maybe the big difference we can make is that we start owning it. If we say it feels, if she feels it, it's real. If I feel frustrated or offended because she took it the wrong way, then I'm bending a fist rather than exacerbating the situation. I'm an asshole and HR's poster girl bully, right? Or is my venting away? I think all of it's okay. I think it's okay for you to be offended. I think it's okay for her to be offended. I think it's okay if you vent. I think it's all okay. I just think all of it needs to be owned. I'm venting. I'm being a bitch. I'm offended. I'm triggered. I think ownership, and when someone comes up to you and goes, you were being a jerk, you go, let me have a look. I probably was, right? So there's this ownership that I think is really missing from our conversations. You know, and I know it myself, that it's something that I had to train myself. It does feel like when someone comes up to you and goes, you know, you weren't really great, right? You know, it's just feedback. It is, and that's actually okay to react. It's actually okay. And I just would love to see this stuff more open, rather than all of us talking to each other about crap and not others about crap and not to each other. You know, and I acknowledge we're not good at it. It's going to take practice. And I guess that's all I have to say tonight. It's just feedback. Now, does anyone want to work with me on this? Hello, Amanda. Does anyone want to work with me on this? Anyone want to say anything? I almost wrote enough to cover your face. I've had worse. I've had ones that do take up the whole thing. Yeah, is there anything else anyone else wants to explore on this? Got a specific situation on this? It's just feedback. It really is. Hello. Shit, I get that all the time. It's awesome. I didn't do it. I didn't do my life. I love hearing people's gossip about me. I tend to find things about me I never knew myself. Imagine if people came and talked to you. That's actually a really good point, Nicole. How would you feel if someone came and told you about something you did that really impacted them? Would you react? Anyone who's coming on this Facebook Live now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to start to notice gossip everywhere. You're going to start talking about it and exploring it. You're going to start to notice when you do and don't do it, what works, what doesn't work. And just by the way, none of what I said none of what I'm saying is the truth. I'm not saying that it's actually wrong to gossip. I think part of, yes, feedback is key to growth. I think part of the problem is that we've built up this whole bunch of guilt and shame around feedback and around feeling offended and around confrontation and around communication, that we've somehow decided that we can't react, we can't upset people, and people can't handle us. And so there's this kind of weird place that we're all in, not providing feedback, talking to each other, and not the person that we've got the issue with. And yet all of us are craving that level of authenticity. And yet all of us also crave wanting to be able to be human and be okay, like having people be okay with it. You know I do. The people that I love the most in my life don't think that I never react. They're okay if I do sometimes. It's lovely to see you here, Amanda. I love constructive criticism. Yeah, great. I think great topic and group conversation. Thanks again. No problem, Lorna. And I just wanted to end on that, unless there's anything, I'm going to just assert that is something that I'd love to see in the world, that we sort of acknowledge as a globe that we're terrible at communicating in ways that have us all not react and handle. And then we become okay with reactions, and that reaction is okay, and that we love and hold people in their reactions. And then we forgive ourselves easily if we don't hold people in their reactions and we react. Like forgiveness, a whole lot of forgiveness on either side. Well, maybe people aren't okay with it, but that's okay too. We have to learn how to respond and not react to situations. How you feel about the situation says more about you. Absolutely, it does. 100%. And just one of the things that I just noticed is that we're not really, if I look at it, on a group, we're not actually very good at responding. We mostly react. But the only way to get good at responding is to practice. And it's exploring what's going on with you constantly, and why you're reacting to something. Compassion, my favorite word, and generosity, being generous with people, letting people be human. So on that note, I'm trying to keep these a bit shorter. I tend to go on for ages. I absolutely love being with you guys and exploring these topics. And like I said, I don't have the answers to this. This is just something that I absolutely love to do, which is get on here and explore topics, not as the truth, but just like actual curiously looking at why we do what we do and why a lot of humans do the same thing, which makes me think it's just a fact of human behavior, and I do get very curious about that. So thank you for providing the space for me to do that. I'll just read this last comment. I was told yesterday that I acted like a bitch to someone and I didn't realize, but because of the gossip about it, I looked at the situation. Yeah, okay, that's great. No one wants to be told that, right? No one wants to be told that. Acted like, because someone came to you and talked to you, looked at it from a different side. That's great, and that's ownership. And I think that's amazing. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for it. It's lovely to see you. Goodbye, Anastasia. Goodbye, Lorna and Amanda. So nice to see you. Until next week, I'm going to think of a more juicy topic. We're going to go away from secrets now. I think the secrets has been used up, and I'm going to get curious about something different. You have any ideas? Let me know. You want to add anything else? Please do, send me a text or private message you. You're the best. It makes me happy when I get on Facebook. Thanks, Steph. You guys have an amazing night, and I will talk to you later. See ya.